First things first, we are now joined by former NBA All-Star and champion Antoine Walker.
Nice to see you, Antoine.
Hey, Antoine, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me on the show.
All right, did you hear about the Warriors? Because they're suffering from a bad case of, I don't know, everyone got hurt. Steph, Clay, KD did not play last night, and Draymond didn't play the second half in a loss to the Spurs. The Warriors are reportedly targeting Friday for Steph Curry's return from ankle injury. He's tweaked that ankle multiple times this season. So, Antoine, with all these injury concerns, you still think, or do you think the Warriors are better than the Houston Rockets heading into the postseason?
No, I don't think they're better than the Houston Rockets. And there's a number of reasons why I think that. I think, one, Houston is doing something that we haven't seen in the last 4 years, that Golden State. They're going to make them play on the road. Game 5 and 7, important games. We haven't seen it. And also, Houston roster's gotten a lot better. The best roster Golden State can put on the floor is with Draymond Green at center. Houston can play five small guards now with P.J. Tucker, Trevor Ariza, Wunute. They got some small guys now. They can play 5 guys with Draymond Green at the center, with him at the center spot to match up. And then also, you got to like the fact that they got another playmaker in Chris Paul. You know, it takes a lot of pressure off James Harden when you got Chris Paul who's having an exceptional year, who can create too. So I like where Houston's at right now. I believe if they get home court advantage, they can actually beat Golden State.
And they got it now. The home court is over. I mean, Draymond after the game said, we're locked into the 2 seed. So, I mean, Houston's going to be the 1 seed.
I want to go back to a person you mentioned, because I think that we talk about him, but maybe not in depth. Chris Paul. Like, who is Chris Paul? And what are we going to see that's going to be able to allow this Houston team to be able to get over the hump? As a former NBA champion, as a guy that Chris Paul looks like one of those glue guys. What is it about Chris Paul that you believe is a tangible thing that gives them an edge?
Well, knock on wood, hopefully he stays healthy. He doesn't get hurt over these next couple of weeks. If he goes in healthy, he should have a chip on his shoulder. He's yet to play in the Western Conference Finals. He's yet to play in the NBA Finals. So he should be motivated. He should take this challenge on personal. This is the best team he's played on. So I look at that situation. And then he's having a great year. I mean, his three-point shooting has been incredible this year. I've never seen him shoot the basketball like he shot it this year. He should have been an all-star, but he wasn't. He missed so many games early in the season. So I just think he's got a chip on his shoulder and he's ready to go.
There's one other aspect of them having Chris Paul that in the matchup against the Warriors is so critical. Who's Steph Garden now? Like, that is the thing. Like, when the Rockets and Warriors have played in the past in the playoffs, Steph doesn't have to guard James Harden. Clay guards James Harden. And Steph guards Eric Gordon's a good player, and he guards Eric Gordon, or he guards Patrick Beverly, who is not an offensive threat. You can hide Steph on the non-offensive guard you could have in the past and not have to worry about him being a liability on defense. If you have Chris Paul and James Harden, which they do, as they're starting backcourt, Steph got to guard somebody. You can't put him on a 3, obviously. They'll just back him down. So who is Steph going to guard? Because my guess is he'll guard CP3. That's not a good matchup for him.
He'll probably start off, but I think they're going to hide him. I think he's going to guard Trevor Ariza. And I know this doesn't sound like the most likable matchup.
No.
But Trevor Ariza is a guy that's going to spot up in the corner on the offensive end for 3s. I think they're going to try to hide him. I don't think you can. Houston, you can't just change your identity and just try to feature Trevor Ariza in the post. So you're going to continue to put him out there. But I think they're going to hide him.
So if they put Steph on Trevor Ariza, do you then think Clay would guard CP3 and Durant would guard Harden? Like, because I'm just curious, in that situation, I'm trying to think in my head.
Let's go to the best lineup Golden State can have.
With Iggy out there? Okay,
with
sure.
Andre Iguodala. So let's think about that's the lineup that's going to play. That's going to play the bulk of the minutes. So that's where you're going to see us. He can hide him in that lineup. Because I'm looking at that's the only way you can beat Golden State. You got to be able to play against their small unit with Draymond Green at the 5. That's where they've been the most successful over the last 4 years, is him at the 5 position.
There's one other way to beat Golden State, and that's if none of these 4 guys come back. So do the Warriors need all 4 of their stars in this lineup to win a title, do you think?
Oh, without
no
question.
doubt. Yes.
The West is totally different. You know what's kind of crazy? I mean, neither one of these teams, but Oklahoma City, don't end up playing them in the playoffs. Oklahoma City going to be a tough out.
Yeah, they trending right at the right time.
I don't like anybody else in the West to put pressure on them, but OKC. When you got 3 dynamic players like that can play and they can score the basketball in the playoff series where you shorten the rotation, I like OKC against one of these teams to take them at least a deep series, like 6 or 7 games.
So you think if they were to, you think Oklahoma City in the second round is a tougher out for one of these teams than Portland?
Yeah. I'm interested in the game tonight. Obviously, you got Portland playing Houston tonight. Both teams on winning streaks. Portland's won 13 in a row, so it'll be interesting to see how that matchup goes. But Portland still lacks they don't have a 3-man. You know, they got a great center, they got a great backcourt, but when you get to the 3 and 4 position, they struggle in that position. So when you get into a playoff series, I don't think they can beat Houston or Golden State. But OKC, Mark, remember I tell you this, OKC is going to be in the mix.
You mentioned at the very beginning that Golden State is going to have to go on the road for games 5 and 7. They're also going to have to go on the road. I always focus on the beginning of the series because what we've never seen is Golden State having to start a series in a hostile environment. I'm trying to think, in the last 3 years, have they started a series? I think only the Memphis series where they lost game 1. The Memphis series, I know they were down 2-1 in that series, but typically they start at home, they get out, you know what I mean? They're up in the series, and you're chasing them throughout. How much does starting the series on the road, if anything, matter to you?
It means a lot. I mean, you can go down 0-2 is tough. I was in the finals down 0-2, but luckily the format was different. The format was 2-3-2.
Yes.
So it's different now. So you go down 0-2, and they never faced that type of pressure. You got to put Golden State in pressure that they never faced before in order to take them out their comfort zone. They've had the easy road for the last couple of years where they've controlled everything. Now they got some injuries. They got to try to get guys back in shape. You don't know how long these guys are going to be out. This is going to be a tough road, a tough championship for them to get this
Are you
year.
worried about them? Are you worried that these guys aren't going to be ready when the postseason starts?
Yeah, without question, because you hurt, and you obviously now you don't have no practice time. You're not going to practice right now,
Right.
So everything is going to be little bike work, walkthroughs, just getting shots up, and you're not going to. And the intensity goes to another level come playoff time.
When KD comes back, if you're playing against a guy who you know is coming back from a rib injury, how does that? Is it a little extra bumping? What do you do as a player if the guy you're checking,
Well,
you know, just
Nick,
came off?
I played in a different era.
So
my
The
era,
real NBA.
my era, we're gonna put pressure on them. We're gonna bump them and do all
Phil's
those
donkey
things.
kicked that.
But now I think Kevin's tough. I mean, he's not been a guy that's been injury prone throughout his career. Obviously, he had his foot injury, but he's played. He'll be tough and be ready for that. But I think obviously you got to put pressure on him. You got to be physical with him. You got to try to take him off his spots. But I don't think he's going to see that to the second round. And obviously, if they get to the Western Conference Finals.
All right, Antoine, stick around. We got more coming up. How does LeBron James keep getting even better in year 115? That's next on First Things First.
Mystery.